What's up, everybody? Welcome into another episode of Profit Picks. If you are new, we always start this show by being transparent. And there was no WNBA games yesterday. The weekend went pretty well. I mean, WNBA playoffs have gone well for me. I've won 7 out of 8, so try to keep that going here today. Yesterday, I did have a winner though. I played the Lions plus 4.5, Rob Veno, and turned out to be the right side. I had no problem fading that guy on the other side. So profitable day to start the week. How's everything for you, Rob?
It's good. Last night was good because I played that total two ways, first half over, full game over. Honestly, I thought it would be a lot like what we saw from Baltimore and Buffalo, and it turned out to be that way. I mean, Baltimore and Buffalo got to 81. These two teams got to 68, so it gave us two winners. And it's the NFL that's gone really well for me the last 2 weeks, 11-3 plus 21 units. So it's been solid NFL-wise, and we'll look to make a little profit in a W tonight, Skee.
Let's do it. 2 games to talk about here. Shouldn't be too long of a show today, but we'll get right into it. Start with 6-13, 6-14. That's Phoenix and Minnesota. Opened up Minnesota -8. Now it looks like -7. Do have a lot of 7.5s out there. So line shop, depending whatever you like. Total open 159.5. It's as low as 158.5. And I'm pretty sure no injuries here. Yeah, everybody should be good to go. That last game in this series, it went exactly as planned for me, Rob. I have Phoenix early, first half. I figured, it'll be the first time the Lynx saw the big three for Phoenix this season. And, we know pretty much, or at least I know, I don't want to be involved with fading the Lynx in the second half or the third quarter. So that's just not been a very good idea, a very profitable angle all season long. So it's interesting. Maybe Minnesota has woken up. Maybe they play a full 40 minutes this time around. Maybe they're used to the big three. I'm curious how you see it.
Well, it looked, first of all, I think the way you read it, absolutely. I mean, it turned out to be perfect. But the fact that Phoenix, off of that full 3-game series against New York, and then the travel and the fatigue would set in maybe second half. And it did for Phoenix, 22 points after 47 in the first. And like you say, Minnesota's been that team all season long. Dig a first half hole, climb out of the hole by beating teams senseless in the second. We just saw it against Golden State when they clinched, right? Golden State led by 17, late third on their home floor, and Minnesota comes back and wins. So you really don't want to be against them late game, especially, as you've said a couple of times, Cheryl Reeve. They just make adjustments at halftime that seem to work all season long. I think this first game of the series was so reminiscent of that New York series where Satu Sabli came out and went 2 for 17 from the floor. She's 3 for 11 the other night, 0 for 5 from 3. She just didn't play well, but we saw the bounce back in game 2 and game 3 out of her. And I think you'll see a bounce back again here. And it's a more difficult, I shouldn't say that. It's not a more difficult front line, but Elena Smith is, I think, the leading shot blocker in the W. So it, there's some imposing forces on the other side, but there were for New York as well. I just, and my idea here, Skee, is that Phoenix got to 69 points without even scoring in the second half. Basically 12 and 10 point quarters don't count. If you can push those up to 16 and 15, then you get over the number that was made available to us yesterday. I think Phoenix team total was 75, and I can clearly see them getting to 76. Win or lose doesn't really matter. I think they can get to 76 against the Lynx. The Lynx give you enough rope to get a lead, to score on them, and then they start to take things away. But for Phoenix, I just can't see another 22-point half coming here. So, like I say, the difference between 69 and 76, 69 what they scored the first game, 76 what I need tonight, is 7 points. If they put up a 29-point second half, it would have been good enough in game 1. I think they get there in game 2. I think that plus the points, they're tough enough to hang around. And I'll say one last thing. It didn't, I'll say that it didn't pan out in game one, but the loss of Dejanay Carrington defensively, I thought might hurt Minnesota a little bit on that end against this team. Didn't really show up in game one. We'll see if it shows up further down the series.
Yeah, we'll see. Um, I'm looking at this total here. Was that the first half number you said there?
Well, it was the Phoenix team total.
Oh, Phoenix team
Is
total. My
75.
bad.
Yeah.
Man, they shot so poor in that first game. I think they shot like 13% from three, and Minnesota didn't shoot that well either. They made it to 151 in that game. Yeah, I'd have to think that they can shoot a little bit better. At the same time, I say that, and um, they could be more familiar with each other after just playing and get a low scoring game. So uh, it's a little bit could go both ways here.
Mm-hmm.
Sideways, for the side, I do think personally, I would prefer the Lynx. I mean, if I'm playing Phoenix, I'm getting in and getting out once again. Like Mark said here, he played Phoenix first half plus 4.5, and he played Minnesota third quarter minus the 2.5. Um, that's just how I see it. So Phoenix early or Lynx full game, and I think points can be scored in this contest between both of them. Anything else before we move on?
That's been a winning formula. It's hard to argue against. Fade Minnesota first half, play them third quarter. I mean, that has been a profit-making formula. So for Mark, there's no way I could talk anybody off of that. I hope Satu recognizes the defense is a little better tonight and scores, because if she does, I think I'll get there to 76.
All right. Let's get to the next game, the last game on the slate. That is 6:15, 6:16, Indiana Fever staying in Las Vegas for another game. Aces opened up -9. Still see nines out there. Total open 165.5, down as low as 163.5. Demirs Dantas is out for this game for the Fever, along with everybody else they've lost for the season. And this is the one that shocked everybody, right? Aces as a big favorite in that first game, lose outright. Fever, they just continue to play hard and shock everybody, really. I mean, people count this Fever team out once the players, started to fall for the season, and they just continue to fight. So Veno, every single game they've played this season has been pretty close. But we know the kind of spot that this is in a playoff game. Aces can't afford to go on the road down 0-2. Do you think that they'll play like it? Will they return back to that 17, 16, whatever game win streak Aces? Or will it be the middle of the season Aces once again?
Well, if Becky pulled the branding iron out and put it to their backsides, then maybe they'll jump a little bit and play better. It's, what, just from a situational Skee, it's really, I found myself going back and forth with this, because the initial reaction is, let's play the Aces. If nothing else, let's play them early, first quarter. I think the number is 2.5 still available out there. Play them first quarter. There's got to be some fight in this team, bounce back. As far as full game is concerned, it is interesting because that 17-game win streak has now seen, 2 losses in the last 3 once it was broken, right? And you just wonder if the Aces aren't going to go back and revert to the inconsistencies that we talked about all season long. Indiana, it's so hard. I mean, to make the case, they're so depth shy. And they're coming off the bench with Bree Turner, Shea Petty, and Ariel Powers. And Ariel Powers, to her credit, a lot of enthusiasm, she's got a nonstop motor when she comes into the game. And like you said earlier, when you said they're playing with a lot of effort, Indiana really is. Kelsey Mitchell was amazing in game one. She's always capable of exploding. I think that the front court of Indiana, Natasha Howard and Aaliyah Boston, may have caused Asia a little bit of trouble. She only had 16. She was 6 of 22. Some could say that's the MVP hangover. I'm not sure. But I expect her to play better. As much as I tossed it around, And I'm somebody who tried over in the first game, over 164.5, and they got to 162. So I scrapped that idea this time, thinking that maybe Las Vegas will play better defense. And I went right to what I said earlier, the first quarter. If Las Vegas can't win the first quarter by 3, the only concern I have with it, and again, the reason why I didn't play it stronger than I did, is Indiana's been a pretty good first quarter team as of late. Doesn't matter, road, home. They usually get out the gate pretty good with that starting 5. But I just, situationally, where playoffs are concerned, I think that Las Vegas needs a little bit of energy right from the outset. So I like -2.5 first quarter.
Fair enough, and I can't talk you off it. I mean, I would think they bring the energy for the entire game, and I would think we see a little bit more defense from that Aces side as well. So I like the total going down. I like what you're saying about the Aces. Both of those directions will be the same way I'm looking in this game. Um, yeah, game 2, we'll get them both tonight. We'll see how everybody looks, and then we'll come back and talk about some game 3. But looks like that's a show. Like I said, quick and easy for today. Only a little bit over 11 minutes for that. Let me look at the chat, actually. Mark says, happy B-Day, Nafisa. I didn't know it was her birthday today. We'll see what she does. Casey says, Asia getting her get back today, man. I know they sent in the videos of those flagrant fouls on her. She did get elbowed in the throat. Like, Casey says she'll get 12 plus free throws tonight.
Real quick, Skee, just let me add this because I had this in my notes and I didn't say it. In that Minnesota Phoenix game, amazingly, they shot 10 free throws combined for the whole game. One team shot 4. Phoenix was 4 for 4. The other team shot 6, 5 of 6. That's kind of crazy that you would see a game officiated to the point where the Phoenix Mercury were only whistled for 6 fouls in the entire game. Indiana, to Casey's point, has begun to play a little bit of roughhouse basketball. It started in that Atlanta series. We saw a lot of skirmishes underneath. And like you say, with Asia Wilson taking a few shots, Indiana's kind of resorting to some, little physical play.
All right, good stuff. Let's move it on over. Mark says, thanks for the show, or thanks for sharing the look, Skee and Rob. Best of luck to everybody. Appreciate you, Mark. All right, we'll move it on over to best bets. But before we do, we have a little something to put on the screen today, Rob.
Is it Ronald's head?
No. Enough of that. It is $5 Tuesday though. So Rob has something up on his page. As soon as I finish this show, I'm putting my play up. I just wanted to make sure, that I had a winner. Because I don't want to just put it up and I'm not that confident. So I thought about it since last night. I like it. I put it up right after the show. And you can get all of that stuff for $5 at Wager Talk. Now, Veno, outside of that, I'll pass it to you and I'll ask you if there's anything you would like to promote. And if you have a best bet for the show, we'd love to hear it. If you don't, all good.
Yeah, $5 Tuesday on my end is up as well, Skee. So you can go over to wagertalk.com and pick that up for sure. Best bets. Oh, and let me just one more time reiterate the odds logic screen. For those of you who really are betting these things 365 days a year, for those of you who are interested in the line moves as they happen, the most current injury reports, et cetera, go get your free 7-day trial from oddslogic.com over at wagertalk.com while you're picking up your $5 play. Best bet, I'm going to go to the very last thing we talked about, which is the Las Vegas Aces. I just believe that at home, you talked about it, the scenario of being 0-2, going down 0-2, and then going on the road is not good. And I think there'll be some fight back from Becky Hammond's team tonight. So I did lay 2.5 first quarter. I'm going to leave that as the best bet here for the show. Las Vegas Aces first quarter -2.5.
Good stuff, Rob Veno. And for myself, I will just mention, everybody, I do have a 5% play for tonight. I put it up on Sunday, so it is not the $5 play. But if you want to be involved with the 5%er, it is up and available there. And like I said, I have my $5 play up shortly. For best bet for the show, I can only give you guys what you guys know how I am. I don't want to just tell you anything. So what I'm going to do today is share a few underdogs that I'm looking at in tennis. I haven't pushed the button yet, but I'm really looking at a few and could pick possibly two or three. So I'm looking at Alicia Parks. I think on the hard court at plus 185. I mean, she's the kind of person who's very serve dependent. But when she's clicking and she's serving good, she can really beat anybody and play with anybody. So after a couple of poor matches, 10 double faults each, I think that she'll clean it up and play a tougher one today. So looking at her plus 185, maybe even first set. Osorio, she's plus 125 versus Ann Lee. I really look at her first set. I haven't really gotten as close as Alicia Parks maybe for that one, but I do like that one. And two more. Siegman can potentially upset McNally, and Bronzetti as a short underdog versus Rakamova is on my list. So a lot of tennis for tonight, and yeah, those start at like 8 p.m. So keep an eye out. And there was one more that's a favorite. I'm trying to give you guys a little bit of everything. I haven't. Katie Bolter, she's beat Baptiste every time she's played her. I think 3 times in a row. Baptiste earlier in the year was playing really well, serving good. Not so much lately. So I just think the style that Katie Bolter plays is hard for Baptiste to handle, and we'll see that again tonight. But that's what I'm looking at for tennis. That's the best I can do for best bets. And yeah, Vino, no WNBA tomorrow. So maybe we'll come back on Thursday. We'll talk WNBA. We'll talk some Thursday night football. We'll have some college football, right? So
Yep.
we'll be back on Thursday. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. A lot of great people, great cappers in the chat. Vino, appreciate you taking the time to break all this good stuff down with me and with us. And we'll catch you guys on Thursday.